Hello and welcome to Lowdown. This is the FE Lowdown, and today we're going to be talking through the Marrakesh e-prix, the main talking points, controversies surrounding it, and that kind of stuff. So let's start. Start off, let's look at the order. Winning was Jerome D'Ambrosio, and then rounding off the podium was Frins and Sam Bird. 4th, 5th, Sims and Byrne. 6th, 7th, Lotra, Degrassi, Buemi. And then rounding off top 10 we had Evans and Act. In 11th we had Lopez, Gunther just behind him, Motrara, PK Jr., Rowland. And then in 12th we had, oh, I've already read that, haven't I? In 16th, Oliver Turvey, Dillman in 17th, 18th, Felipe Massa, and then our retirements are Da Costa, Paffett, Verline, and Van Dorn. Da Costa obviously in that incident between the Beamers, I'll get onto that a bit later. Paffett, his rear tyre came off. Verline and Van Dorn, I think they were both issues with the car, not their fault directly. Right, so let's start where the race started. And well, first corner there was already 2 collisions. You of course had the collision over here between with Bird and Byrne. That was evidently Van's fault from my point of view. He shouldn't have been there in the inside. If you look, he came along there on runoff. And then you've got one of the HWAs. This, I hate to admit it, but I think it's Stoffels' fault. He came like down there, and then just that, I caught it just as the collision happened there. And I think that must have damaged his teammate's suspension, which led to his crash or something. And then next, this is just recapping Verline's incident, where he punched Roof, and Stoff also retired in a similar manner. Paffett's incident, and before we move on, I'm going to talk about these animations, disappointed animations. While they are terrible, they are absolutely terrible. They're just that terrible that they're good, if you get me. You know what I mean. So personally, I think we should keep them just for the memes. Moving on, and we've moved right on. I thought I had another picture there. But anyway, this is nearer to the end of a race. I mean, quite a lot nearer. This is basically the crash between Da Costa and Sims. Sims. And basically Sims came around the outside and Da Costa sort of turned into him. I think that's a racing incident. Sims broke too late for the overtaking move, and Da Costa, he should have moved. And Costa, as you can see, he blames himself for the crash. I've already said I think it's a racing incident, but key quotes then, he denied the team a win. I'm sorry, that's a mistake coming from me only. I think he's putting too much blame on himself, but then this could just be a press. I mean, some of the comments seem quite press, like default comments. Let's move on. Okay, next up, this race end. That last lap is one of the tensest laps I've seen in motorsport. You had several cars all trying to overtake each other before the line, which culminated to this great, this is probably one of the best finishes ever. Like, every car's attempting to overtake right before the line. Okay. So now after that, let's talk about the main talking points of it. Obviously we've already gone over the Costa stuff. Audi have said that they're disappointed by the first two races, and in future they're just basically going to be less egotistical. As you can see, key quotes: "It's not as granted as maybe it was last season. We looked into everything and tried to be better. I think we will be better because here we have, let's say, a normal race day without rain and with proper preparation." Okay, moving on then to the next quote or news story. I'm going to go for this one. Vern said, "I'm an idiot for the first lap incident." And, well, he's not wrong. "I was an idiot. I tried to go for the gap like I did in New York last year on Seb. But I guess this year the car is a bit different. I didn't stop the car and obviously didn't want to crash into Sam. I didn't want to ruin his race, ruin my race, and have a penalty for the next race. So I went completely on the inside, and obviously I spun because there was no other way to spin or take us both out. So I chose that option." So as you can see, he's not happy with it himself. He blames himself. So yeah, he's comparing it to the incident in New York last year, and saying it's partly to the car. Now what's this next one? Where do we start with this one? Okay, let's go back, way back. So if you watch Formula 1, if you go back to the Brazilian Grand Prix 2018, Max Verstappen had a collision with Ocon, and after the race, in the debrief area, he ended up pushing Ocon for the incident. So for this, Max got a community service, and part of his community or public service, it's being called here, was used to help Marshall in Formula E. And Sam Bird has said he's unhappy that this was used for his public service. He says, "I mean to call coming from FE Race Community Service. I think it does FE a bit of injustice," which I absolutely agree with. He says, "I hope he agreed it and he will give good feedback to some of his colleagues." Obviously, we all do. But yeah, I completely agree with this. I don't think FP should be used as a punishment for F1. We have quite a few drivers from F1 this year. Most noticeably, in recent years, you've got Verlaine, Massa, and Van Dorn. But yeah, that was just something quite interesting I wanted to share with you. And then championship battle. This is where everyone is in championship now. D'Ambrosio, after that win, has skyrocketed up to 40 points. Second, you got Da Costa, still stayed in the fight, even though he didn't take any points from today. Byrne second, Lostra third, Bird fourth, Freens, Evans, Buemi, Sims, Degrassi, Rowland, Abt, PK, Van Dorn, Paffett, Günther, Maria Lopez, Dillman, Turvey, Massa, and Montreux. I'm not sure on the constructors. I'll get it for the next race, but yeah. And that just about sums it. Bye.